afternoon, folks. Happy Wednesday. We're coming to you from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. My name's Tim. I play Paper Beat Scissors. I'm going to play a couple of songs, then we're going to bring our special guest of the day in. Let us know where you're watching from. If you have any questions for Mr. Brad Barr, you can put them in nice and early. Yeah, it's nice to be here. I'm gonna start with a couple of my own, and then we're gonna bring Brad in. This is from the last record. This is called All We Know. That's all we know. It's nice to be here. Let me know how everyone's doing out there. Welcome to my house on Bernard Avenue here in Montreal. It's technically Outremont, if we want to get like snippy about it. It's delightful to be here in my own house. I'm gonna play one more from that record. This is called Grace, and it's about not being a gonna try not to swear, not being an arsehole. Does that count as swearing when things don't go particularly well? So I'm gonna play this one, and then Mr. Brad Barr is gonna be joining us right afterwards. So again, let us know where you're listening from, watching from. Yeah, this is Grace. act so calmly in the face of the wreckage that you rolled. The storm upturned, the copper beach, the couch is still. We tell ourselves that nothing ever changed so much. I see it all, the grace that you stole. You sent me out in the cold, oh, to a cold talk, as much as you'd ever hold. Is it enough? There's infinite sin. Don't ever cast a stone before you or the voice are fickle and unmoored. At least you're not all the things you're not. Could there be anything that you'd rather hear less? I see it all, the grace that is stone. You send me out in the cold, oh, to a cold talk, as much as you'd ever hold. You send me out, you send me out in the cold. It's not enough. That was Grace. So lovely to see you all on here. Vancouver, Nova Scotia, California, Northwest England. Yeah, keep letting us know where you're watching from. If you like the stream, please feel free to share it around. Let other people know about it. But without further ado, why not welcome our very special guest today, Mr. Brad Barr. Brad, how are you doing?
So much better now that I heard those songs.
Wonderful. We've got a little slap back on your voice there. I don't know what's.
I think stand by.
It sounds sweet.
There we go. Is that better?
There we go. There we go. Getting right in there.
I got inspired by the effects you were using.
Yes.
A hand at it.
Amazing. I'm so glad that you're on here. I mean, I reached out a couple of weeks ago because you put an album out called The Winter Mission, an incredible solo, mostly guitar album. We'll get into that later because I have some questions for you about that. But like honestly, it's like my favorite thing of the year so far. My favorite thing of like the last couple of years. Like I haven't heard it something that's kind of like got my attention and just been that kind of like. I keep like searching for the word and I haven't found it yet. Like soothing feels wrong, but it's just like reassuring and just like it's helping with the winter. Like, I mean, it's called The Winter Mission. It feels like the perfect thing to just provide that balm or something over these kind of dark months. Was that the name and the choice of time to release it? Like, can you talk a little bit about that? About like I don't know, like how intentional that all was, or if it all just sort of fell in that way?
That was pretty haphazard, actually. And when you said bomb, you meant B-A-L-M, right?
Well, from the north of England, I would say bum and balm to kind of yes. It's not a nice bum. I mean, I'm sure it's a nice bum as well, but it's a beautiful relieving balm. Yeah, it's good to be specific.
Yeah, I never know with the British accent. It could be several different things. So I always like to ask.
It's good to be
Um,
polite. Yeah.
the actual the timing of it, it's sort of like so many things in my life. I didn't plan it. I named it the Winter Mission for a number of reasons. My first solo instrumental album, actually the only solo albums I've ever put out have been instrumental, totaling two. The last one was called The Fall Apartment.
Mhm.
So I wanted to keep that sort of little theme, that play on words, and
Until you said that out loud, I never got the pun before.
yeah. Oh yeah, okay.
Because I mean, the winter mission, I got that one pretty quickly, but the full
Oh, the
apartment.
took a minute. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Which, by the way, is really ill-advised to use a pun as an album title.
Yeah.
I I don't. I would definitely steer anyone away from that, but for some reason I didn't take my own advice, and um, yeah, I guess what I've set myself up for is a string of four seasonal solo
Yep.
instrumental
You certainly
guitar records
have.
stand out over the next 2 decades.
Yeah.
And the Winter Mission, yeah, I recorded it. I think all those songs. Well, let me back up. I was approached by a theater company to compose music for their theater, um, and they wanted only the right to use it in their theater, and they didn't want any of the rights to music. And in fact, the guy who contacted me said he hoped that I would put this music out as a record eventually. And so I guess the intermission from our lives, and I don't know, the terms, the thespian terminology, I don't know, I mixed with the pun of the
So
seasons
many
and the
levels.
place.
Oh my God.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of levels going on, and all of them are, you know, probably not even worth talking about.
Triple,
But
quadruple entendre.
when you ask someone about the meaning of something, usually the response is less profound than you would have imagined. By the way, Tim, I am honored to be on your show. I feel the same about your music. When you contacted me to invited me on, I had to do a little paper beat scissors sort of recap, and which I did, and it's just so deep, man. You got such a direct channel to the heart. It Yeah. I got choked up many times driving around. I don't know, thinking about, somehow it makes me think about my family, and yeah, you just get right in there. So thank you for that.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much for saying that. It means a lot.
I'm surprised we never played a gig together
I know.
in Mon. It's
Not for the last 2
'cause-
years. I guess that's not so surprising, but
no, but you've been performing paper beat scissors. It's been a decade, is that right?
yeah, something like the first album came out a year ago, like next month. We're like a couple of weeks away from the 10th anniversary of that, which feels crazy. But I was in Halifax for most of that time and moved out to. I mean, I guess it was 2015 when I moved here, so it's been a while now. But
And you were my neighbor, my
yes,
student neighbor,
yeah,
which was
you're right in the basement. I could for the folks watching back at home. Yeah, like my apartment that I used to live in, the Barr Brothers rehearsal space was like down in the basement. So like I would sometimes just like be woken up, but not in like a really bad way. Like, oh my God, it's so loud because it's a few floors away, but I could like hear the drumming and stuff. And especially in the summer when the doors were open and stuff, it was so nice.
Yeah, yeah. Would hear Tim screaming, "Shut up down there!"
Every damn day. Um,
No balls.
would you like to give us? Would you love to give us a piece from your?
Love is maybe a, yeah. I would be. I'd be. It would give me great pleasure.
Amazing.
Let's see. Is there? I was having a hard time choosing songs here. My friend Lucas requested a really old song from my old band. But I'll do one off the record, off the Winter Mission. I'll do this one here. got the. And you had asked about the sort of guitar-like
instruments. Yeah.
So this little guy, this is called a requinto.
Okay.
It was made by my friend Alfonso Paxtian in Tulum, Mexico.
Oh, cool.
Crack in it. Yeah, he was actually playing this one when I first met him, and I asked him if he would make me one because he makes all his own instruments. And about a year later, he said he had made me one, but that he thought that this one was more appropriate for me. So I ended up buying his requinto off him. I don't know if the one he made was actually maybe an amazing instrument. He wanted to keep it. I wouldn't blame him. Oh, let me turn my air. There we go.
The magic of the details.
So yeah.
Don't forget the magic button. Beautiful.
Thanks.
Nicole says mesmerizing, and that's about right, I'd say.
Song's called
Amazing.
Cleveland, Ohio, and I named it that because the area code for Cleveland, Ohio is 216, and every song on the record has a 216 theme in the title.
I was going to ask you about that. I'd noticed the numbers. I hadn't necessarily picked up the 216 thing. I definitely had missed the Cleveland thing. I was like, why is this? This isn't a number. So now it all becomes clear. So would you like to talk a little bit about that? Because it's
Sure. It's kind of a. It's still kind of a. How do I say this? It's a mysterious number for me, and I was encouraged when I was making this music. Michael Walk, who runs the theater company, who sort of commissioned these songs for me, he kept encouraging me to think of presenting them, asking me if I'd ever want to present this music in a more theatrical setting. In other words, more than just do a concert with him. Like if I ever wanted to sort of do a more narrative performance with his theater company. And so it got me to think about themes and themes in my life, themes I could write around, and I just sort of honed in on that number, which for me has been a kind of part of a shared mythology with a group of friends that I have, and seems to expand into outer circles as well. The more people know about that number, which just seems to have this sort of universal. It's some kind of key to certain laws of nature that are way beyond my comprehension, but I know it's I know that the universe has some reason for or has some use for that number that I will probably never understand, but it's a really nice search, and it keeps me engaged in the unknown, keeps me reminded that there is a whole universe of things that I could probably spend my lifetime sniffing around and never quite know.
The unknown, but like a way of a kind of a channel into the unknown, kind of.
Yeah, and as well also a sort of totem of this these friendships that I had when I was going back to when I was 13, 14, 15, and we're still friends, and we still reference that number. We still send pictures. You'll be buying something at the store and the cash register is 216, and just take a picture and send it around. I took my headphones off, Tim. Sorry. Have I had my headphones off this whole time?
I guess if you have, it's working, so I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah, if you're comfortable without cans, don't worry about it. There's no issues sound wise as far as I can tell. So
I just looked up and noticed that he's not wearing any headphones.
You look more professional now, so that's good.
Yeah, I feel more professional.
Nev Clay points out 21st/6 summer solstice. I guess you must be all over that. 21/6.
Oh, see, being an American, I always put my month first and the day after, so I never actually made that connection.
Well, nice one, Nev.
Nice one, Nev. Thank you.
Brad owes you one. And so this record came out at a kind of frustrating time in terms of what we're able to do here in Canada, but things are starting to open up. And actually, there's like a little connection. There's like an announcement that I wanted to make for myself, but it's like it turns out to be quite appropriate to us because we're both doing performances with a string quartet here in Montreal. I'm going to put the tickets in the video description, but the Warhol Dervish String Quartet, who played on my last record, invited me to be a part of this concert series where they're performing the last 4 string quartets that Beethoven wrote, and then they have a guest for part of it, and Brad is going to be one of the guests as well. So like it's a different week, it's a different guest. There's also Tanya Iyer, who's been a guest on the stream as well. Someone else who's been a stream, that's Sarah Paget, formerly of the Barr Brothers as well, who's also been on this stream, is performing as well. So if you're in Montreal, you should definitely check that out. I'm going to put that in the chat so people can find it. And it's in the video description if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. But Brad is also going to be playing one of those. So
it's funny. I almost asked you today. I had the text written like, who do you use as a string section? And I don't know why I didn't send it. I think because I had all these other things hit me about your music that I wanted to ask you about, and asking you who your string section was felt trite as I was being like getting choked up in the car. But the Warhol Dervishes, they're we've every record we've made, we've played with those guys, or every time we need a string section. Yep, Pemmy and John, and I forget who's on cello. JC.
Yes, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think, I mean, it shifts around a little bit, but yeah, I think that was the lineup when I was playing, and Chloe Chabanel was playing violin as well for us for those shows. But yeah, I'm not sure who exactly it's going to be for those shows. But if you're in Montreal, definitely check that out, because they should be like beautiful, special shows. And yeah, I mean, I'll be definitely.
Have you been to that room before?
I haven't. La Chapelle. I have not.
La Chapelle. I think the last show I did in Montreal was there, and it was a completely unamplified, unelectrified show. So no microphones, no amps, just playing without any amplification. It was really cool. I don't know that there's many rooms you could do that in.
Yeah.
So testament.
Amazing. And for that set, I mean, it's still a ways away, but were you planning on playing stuff from the album?
I had actually forgotten about that show until you mentioned it.
I mean, to be fair, it's like it was supposed to be in like February or something, and like everything's been moved around and rescheduled and such. So I think it's
I'd like to play the instrumental stuff. I'm kind of I've done one show since that record came out, back in mid-December, and just playing instrumental, the songs off this record, and it was really cool. A whole new space, and I think it resonated with the people there. There was only about 20 people there, but most of them were friends. But I think it was that staying in that headspace, committing to it. It felt like it broke through something.
Cool. Well, watch this space, and yeah, if you're in Montreal, get out to the show. Would you like to play as another piece?
Sure, I'd love to. I had actually, before I do, I have a question for you, Tim.
Hit me.
So my son and I are part of the RPS Society. Mm-hmm. That's the Rock Paper Scissors Society, where we share strategies and discuss past tournaments and ways to strategizing. And aside from one incident in, I think it was in Moscow in the mid 70s, the Scissor Gate, I think is what they call it.
Yeah.
It was a disqualification, a big upset, but that's the only time that paper ever beat scissors. So I was wondering if that's what you were.
It was referencing that exact.
I thought I knew it.
Yes, yeah. The name is very old, and I don't even remember exactly where it came from. But I do love the fact that people will know the music for a long time, and then like years later, we'll be like, "Oh, paper doesn't beat scissors." Like it'll just like twig. Yeah, if anyone's just realized that, please let us know.
It was the big upset, caused a huge controversy in the RPS Society, and still talking about it.
Yeah, one day we'll live it down. And don't forget that magic button.
Yes, I've even got the turn button off in front of me.
Yes.
Yes.
Amazing.
That
Thank
sound all
you.
right out there? It's distorting a little bit on my end, but
Getting dirty. I love it.
yeah, okay, good.
In a good way. In a good way. A little bit of housekeeping for the folks back home. This is a listener / viewer supported endeavor. So if you want to support the stream, I'm going to put the link in the chat right now. It's also in the video description on Facebook and YouTube. You can support by PayPal, credit card, or Interac, and 50% of the donations each week go to the guest artist, and any amount is much appreciated. So thank you to everyone who has been donating for all these years. It was it's because it is all these years now, insanely. Getting lots of clappy hands and exclamation marks and stuff. Housekeeping. Another housekeeping point. What was that track called?
That one's called Ancient Calendars. Yeah, it was an interesting one to make. A lot of the songs on this record are improvisations.
Mhm.
They were just kind of sprawling improvs that I would just let it roll for sometimes an hour, just kind of get locked into a theme, and then I kind of find the parts that I would almost edit and sculpt a thing out of the improvisation. So I had a form, and then I'd go back and record it, record the form as close to it, or an approximation as I could. And I want to say that, yeah, at least 75% of the songs on the record were made that way.
And in that process, because I know, like, from my experience doing that kind of thing, I can never like get that essence when I try and go back and re-record it. So like, are any of them sort of like original, like those original versions, or were they?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I think that one was an original version with and just a lot of crossfades.
Nice.
Yeah, the thing about this record that I stuck to was sort of the ethos was no overdubs, just one person all times, because the theater that had the All for One Theater, who commissioned it, is exclusively one person show.
Okay.
They do exclusively one person shows, so I was kind of the mandate. And I mean, he didn't actually give me that mandate, but I gave it to myself because I don't know, it suddenly seemed important for me to make a record without the production stuff, just the sound of one person playing instead of what we're able to do these days, which I love to do. I'm definitely not a purist in it at all, but it kind of felt like, oh yeah, that's a bit of a lost art, the single person performing. So yeah, so there's no overdubs, but there are, as we're saying, there are some edits. There are, yeah.
But I think there's something that's so magic that can happen when you do that, when you strip things back, because if as soon as you're adding instruments, yes, you're adding a lot of detail and different ideas and different melodies and things like that. But there's also a covering up that happens with every extra instrument that goes on top. So like, it's, like all of the detail of like some of the playing gets lost, and I think that's something really wonderful about this record. Like the word that I keep coming back to is texture. Like I hear all the textures of the instruments and the fingers and the strings and the body of the guitar, and the kind of like the slight dynamics within the playing of a song that could very easily be lost as soon as you put like one other instrument over the top. And yeah, what you're able to achieve, I think, is really wonderful when you kind of like just take that approach and go there.
Well, I certainly didn't expect to hear those words and to hear that kind of reaction to it, basically because I wasn't necessarily aware that that's what was going on, or that at the time it didn't feel like I was making a statement or even exposing myself in that kind of intimate or vulnerable way. But now that it's done, and now that I've kind of holding it up against other things I've done, it's easy to see that it actually is one of the more intimate portraits of me, and I'm not singing which I don't know, maybe even because guitar is kind of definitely my first instrument. Singing has been something I've had to work on. I'm definitely a bit more self-conscious about it. It didn't necessarily come easy to me. Still doesn't come easy. I still love recordings I make and then I sing on them and I'm like, oh my God, this is a mess. But yeah, it kind of makes sense that I was able to get to some means of expression that, through the instrumental format. But I appreciate you saying so. Thank you.
No, I mean, everyone should definitely go and listen to it. The link is in the video description. I'm going to ask you to play one more song because I know that you have to go fairly soon. So yeah, if you'd like to, if you have time for one more for us, or if you need to.
Too bad we can't jam together. We haven't figured out how to jam. We haven't figured out the Zoom jam yet.
One day.
Well, listen, I'll do one more song, and feel free to grab your clarinet if you're feeling inspired.
It's right here.
I'm actually. You're laughing. I mean it.
Well, I'll see. I'll mute it. It will completely throw you because it will be out of time for you, but it won't be out of time for the people back home. So,
that's the only time I've jammed over Zoom was with a clarinet. My friend Nathan Moore, who is doing a similar thing as you, a YouTube live stream, and he's a songwriter. One of my favorite songs, actually. Yeah. I want to give Nathan a little bit of props out there. Nathan Moore.
Nathan Moore, look him up.
There's another Nathan Moore who's a singer who's not my friend Nathan Moore. This is Nathan Moore, a folk singer from Virginia, and the one time I jammed over Zoom was with him playing clarinet because the long tones just kind of work.
Yeah. This is true.
All right, boy. Tough one. You know what I am gonna do a song off the Barr Brothers' last record, and I'll push the button. I put my arms up, felt the sea in front of me. I let my guard down. The ocean spoke these words to me. She said, I've been trying for about 1,000,000 centuries just to get up on that shore and not get pulled back anymore. She said, mostly I'm just breathing. Look before it changes. Because it changes for good. When you were screaming and I was too deaf to hear. When you were leaving, you said I don't need you here. You said I've been trying to see what's going on behind your eyes. I said mostly I'm just breathing. Look before it changes, 'cause when it changes for good.
Yes. So beautiful. Thank you so much, Brad. Thank you for being here with us. Everybody watching, go and check out Brad's new album, The Winter Mission. It's on all of the places where it's supposed to be. Yeah, and I hope that we'll see each other soon in real life.
Well, I have to give your webcam back, so
This is true. So it's gonna have to happen.
yeah. I'm so honored, so happy you asked me to be on here, Tim, and I think that in all the years we've known each other, this is probably the longest we've actually spoken.
Definitely,
so,
yes.
Yeah, let's try and beat it.
Yeah, I think we can. I think we can do it. Amazing.
So,
I'm gonna keep going and play some more songs, but we're gonna say goodbye to Brad. Thank again.
Yep, I've got to run. Thanks to all the folks who chimed in, and yeah, it's really good to see everyone's names scrolling.
Yeah.
Great to see you, Tim.
Agreed.
I'm gonna bounce.
Okay, take care.
Take care.
It's Brad Barr, everybody. What an absolute treat. He's an incredible guitarist. Like, I've always loved his work with the Barr brothers. Great songwriters as well, but like seeing them play live, I'm so inspired by his guitar playing. And really, that last album, The Winter Mission, is so special. It's so beautiful. So just a reminder, if you're not already following the channels, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or Twitch, do click the follow, like, subscribe button, whatever it's called, on the particular platform that you're watching on, so that you don't miss the notifications, because we do this every Wednesday, different guests every week. Another incredible folk guitarist next week, Mr. Ben Walker. I made a little picture for it, so you can just imagine. Look, there's Ben. Wonderful folk guitarist, also instrumental. See, I've got two instrumental folk guitarists in a row. Yeah, but I'm gonna play a few more songs, some of my own. If you request something that is not mine, then maybe I'll play that as well. So I'm gonna turn the requests on. On Twitch, there's a button you can go to. Actually, I'm gonna start with that one because Kathleen requested that last week. And I'd already played it, so I didn't play it first. So this is for you, Karine, if you're still watching. This is from my first record, which we talked about before. It was recorded 10 years ago. It was released 10 years ago. Oh my God. This is called Tendrils. Old rages blocking all the halls, hide inside walls, decided to go. Calm silence, don't pick apart its source, make it up, but just put it aside. Don't find us waking upside down. Find your sense and hold it, you'd watch it unfold. Phrase tendrils creeping for a hole, the steely grey glow of your eyes. But by night I'm silenced and still. Can you make yourself feel unkind? When you cry out, oh, when you see that we all have come freely alone. No brightness but misinterpret words, deflect us from the side of you, drenched and afraid. Fight in the sourness that pulls around the brain. It's an offering, an offering, an offering again. Sealed inside each verse, up above my words, you've a sense, I'm sure, that's as true as any. For the times I had tried but didn't make the connections, and I'm left to feel. If I was you, I'd lie. 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 Oh, judgment, picking apart your eyes, fooled by the scope and pulled as rope. Oh, judgment picks apart your eyes, we barely are truthful to us. Climb up this fleshy frame, hands and feet are fixed, stretching up above me. This man-made shoulder wide, at its broken side. Wind rose, I lost my step, cushioning my back, the sands that came to greet me. The falling ranked and filed, away with all the wherewithal. And when touch the sun, remember what it's for. The heat pulling sweat from your pores, seeing their eyes and shoulders, a shineless night, weightless in the folds of wings inside and feathers. Still we'll push over line, as breathless as the day we came. And when you touch the sun, remember what it's for, the heat pulling sweat from your pores. See it in their eyes and shoulders, cushioning your eyes and fold eyes. I see it if you push it forward. We've got it That's Folds. I do see a request in there. Uncle Peter occasionally wakes up finding himself singing this song. Cool. Such a strange thing to write songs, like, because I just do it because it's fun, but it's really weird when you realize that you are inside of people's brains sometimes. Very strange. This has been such a treat. I'm gonna play two more. I do see the request in there for Once. I'm gonna play that one. So yeah, there's still time for one more if anybody wants to get a request in. If you're watching on Twitch, there is like a button that you can go and press, and there's brain fail. Yes, there is a place on the internet where you can go and look at the list even if you're not on Twitch. I have to find a way to get that list going. 95% of the time, that's a lot of time. It's time for the Badger Cam. My mum sent me some footage this week, which I'm not going to show because did I mess this up? Because it's just a little bit racy, and the badgers have been spotted. I mean, this is from last June, but I've just got the footage recently. But we're seen outside of their set. In the email that I got from my mum, she mentioned that she'd sent me 90 seconds of 1 hour and 45 minutes of mating, shall we say? But yeah, so I thought it was just a little bit too much, the video, so we've got a little slightly adjusted shot from there, with a conveniently placed smudge upon the camera. But yes, our badgers have been mating. So apparently, also some knowledge, some deep inside knowledge from Mum is that apparently, due to an unusual reproductive technique known as delayed implantation, they have only 1 litter a year, and that tends to happen. Most cubs apparently are born in early to mid-February, so like it's right about now. So who knows? Maybe we'll be seeing some baby badgers at some point, because that shot was from last June. So just a thought. Okay, I do see a request from Johnny for All Mixed Up, so I'm gonna put that in there. Or Stephen, if you have access to that, I see that you managed to put Once in there. If you're able to put All Mixed Up into the queue, that would be a nice little ender. I'm gonna play Once, a track from the first record, the anniversary record. So it'll be 3 in a row. It's about like trying to follow your own path and trusting it, but also about how sometimes when we just try to recreate things when we've had good experiences in our life, and we're just like, well, that was there, and that was there, and that was there, and you try and get all those things together, get all those people together, do those things, and the magic is somehow lost. Yeah, there's a lot of tracks definitely on that first record about like just trying to be present. So this is Once, for a moment for Stephen. And thank you, Stephen. I see you snuck that in there. That one? That one. Always just getting the things just right. It's because I care. Soft exhaust seeps, chill makes you creep. The tide will decipher all. Step string sweet, the concrete feet, the purpose that follows the falls. Fight that need to go by feel, the voices that count will call. You're back on the right side now. Burn through the middle, but you stick to the sides and crawl up the right shore of the arm. When drained of all experience, you're crashing lines again. Once you didn't know, once you didn't know, once you didn't know. Once you didn't know, once you didn't know, once you didn't know. When faith is lost, all signs of humor gone. But the worst of it, you won't fight it alone. As alone as you like, when drained of all experience, you're crashing lines again. You'd speak so much of cowardice, stay silent just the same. Once you didn't know, once you didn't know, once you didn't know. Once you didn't know, once you didn't know, once you didn't know. Once you didn't know, once you didn't know, once you didn't know. No, once you didn't know, once you didn't know, once you didn't know. That was Once, from that first record. Okay, I'm going to play the last song here. Final reminder, there is the donation option. If you want to support what's going on, you can support through PayPal, credit card, or Interac if you're here in Canada. And yeah, the link is in the video description if you're watching on YouTube, and I'll post it for the Twitch folks one more time in the chat right now. And 50% of those donations go to the guests every week. I've also programmed my Streamlabs robots to remind me and everyone else to drink water. It's important to hydrate. Very important. I'm going to play a track for Johnny here. It's a Cars track originally, but it's I mostly came to know it through oh man, John, I literally have the Burnley football game paused, and I was going to watch it from the start and just not know anything about what was going on. And spoiler, massive spoiler there. I'm happy about that, but now I'm just also like, I'm not going to watch that first hour of football for that purpose. I'm not going to play this song for you anymore, Johnny. I am. The number of friendships that have been ruined over being told football results when I wanted to watch the highlights. I mean, it's good news. It's good news, I guess. This is, the Mark Kozelek version of a song by the Cars called All Mixed Up, and it's a beaut, I think. I'll be back next week. Same time, same places. Subscribe, like, etc. if you haven't done already, so you can keep on top of that. Yes, that's a good idea, Anna. Very good. Very good idea.
Shadows me in the mirror. She never leaves on the light. And some things that I tell her, they just don't seem to bite. So mixed up. Tricks me into thinking that I can't believe my eyes. I will wait for forever. She never does arrive. It's so mixed up. So mixed up. It's so mixed up. It's so mixed up. It's so mixed up. She said, leave it to me. Everything will be alright. She said, leave it to me. Everything will be alright. It's so mixed up. She's always out making pictures. She's always out making scenes. She is always out the window. But when it comes to making dreams, it's so mixed up. It's so mixed up. So mixed up. It's so mixed up. It's so mixed up.
It's all mixed up. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back next week. John, I accept your apology. It's okay. Brad Barr, thank you so much for catching the end of it. It was wonderful. So wonderful to have you on. And yeah, we'll be back again next week and hopefully play some clarinet with Brad in real life soon. Yeah. See you next time.